Hello everyone and welcome, it's Shanna. Now this is day 20 of our Crafty Advent Calendar. So we've just got 4 more after today. So this is a really large box here. And it looks like a 3-piece stencil set. It looks like polka dots. So we're going to pull them out and we're going to get to working on this. Now this is going to be a little bit of a longer video because I'm going to stencil this 3 times. I only used 2 of the panels, but the first one I really wasn't that excited about, and so I did 2 more. So I just put some tape runner on the back, and I'm just going to lay them down here on this little stencil mat. I'll bring in some washi tape, and I will do some stenciling on here. Like I said, I'm going to do 3. I use distressed oxide on this first one. I'll use spun sugar and mustard seed and I think Uncharted Mariner is what I use on this. And then on the second one, I will use some Craft and Kimmy inks in similar colors. And then in the third one, I will use just a selection of my Distress Oxide blues. So I'm just I've sped this up quite a bit. I'm gonna play some music, let you watch me stenciling, and then we'll come back and assemble our card. Okay, so we've got all that stenciling done. You can see I've got 3 different panels here. And I really like the kind of the 3 different colors of the blue or the teal colored that I used. And I like this one too. The first one I did, I didn't like it as much. So what I'm doing now is just trimming off the edges where you've got the little stencil mark that, that shows you how to line it up. I'm just getting those trimmed off and just trimming them all down. I trim all 3 of them down, but like I said, I'll only wind up using 2 of them. And I'm going to bring in our nested die from, I don't know, a day or 2 ago. And I'm going to create a little frame that I can frame these panels out. And we're actually going to make a shaker card. I've got this scrap here that I was toying around with the other day. For like a fun fold of some sort. I don't know what I was doing. But anyway, I'm going to lay those 2 panels down on here. And I'm just going to die cut a frame out. I'm going to bring in some washi tape and I'm going to get it lined up. And we'll tape it down so that I can get a nice even frame for this. And I'm going to do it 3 times because I'm thinking 1 for each panel. But like I said, I'll only use 2 of the panels on this particular card. So I'm just trying to get those 2 lined up together so I'll have a nice even frame all the way around. Just brought in my Scout die cutting machine and I'm just going to cut 3 of these panels out and get them laid down on there. That color there looks really nice with the blues, and it's going to look really nice with that pink and light blue. And you can see I've laid both of our sequin mixes that we got in the Crafty Advent Calendar because I'm planning to use those as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and die cut out a third one, and but I wound up using it. Additionally, you can take the centerpiece that comes out of all three of those, and you could use those as well for something. So I'm laying those aside and keeping those. I could certainly use those. So I'm going to lay it aside because I decided I didn't like the color match on it, and I'm going to use these two here. And I've decided that I'm going to make them a shaker, and I've got these scraps of, it's basically a full front cover plate that you would make into a shaker, and I've used it for bits and pieces. I actually had a couple of them in my stash there, and so I'm just taking it and cutting it down. So this is actually meant for a shaker. It's even got a film over it to protect the acetate so that it doesn't get all scratched up or messed up. So I'm just pulling that film off there, and I'm just going to create a little shaker window with this acetate. And I'm going to bring in my tape runner because it's just easier to lay acetate down on tape runner because you don't have to worry about a glue. And I'm going to pick it up off my glass mat and kind of just lay that acetate down on there. Now this first one I cut a little bit big, and I'll have to trim it down. I'll just bring my scissors in and trim it down. I think the next one I do a better job of cutting it. And so we've got our little frame here. And next I'm going to bring in, I've got some thin foam strips from scrapbook.com. There's not a lot of dimension there, so you can't jam-pack your shaker with a lot of embellishments because you won't have enough movement. It's just a thin strip, but it'll be plenty for just the sequin mixes that we have there. And I'm going to lay the blue-green down on the panel there. And I got a little bit much, so I'm just pulling some off, spreading it out. I'll just pull the release papers off this, and I'll get it laid down onto this stenciled panel that we've created here. Just tuck my stencils in and give it a good press. I don't want my stencils coming out. And there we go, we can give it a little shake. So I've got that little shaker. And I thought about trimming the edges off that stencil, but then I decided that I didn't want to because you can't hardly see what I've stenciled anyway, and I want you to be able to see that. Now this one I'm going to lay, I think, in the other direction. And they're not the exact same size. You can tell one's a little bit narrower than the other. And so here's another strip that I'd already cut into, and it kind of almost lined up with the cut that I had there before, so I just cut it. And then we'll do the same thing with this one that we did with the other one. So I went to a jewelry party and got another one of those permanent bracelets, and so that was fun. It was another one of the tanning permanent bracelet parties. I didn't get a tan. My daughter does the tanning. I didn't do the tan, but I did get another bracelet to add to my set. So now I have 3. So that was fun to do tonight. I did help her out with the kids this evening too. They had a lot going on. They had a part. She had this collaboration party at her house with the tanning and the permanent jewelry. And then after she had scheduled that and promoted it and everything, and then the school scheduled a program. So they had to divide and conquer tonight, and her husband had to take their daughter to the program, and then she had to run her party, and then I helped with the boys because, she had a huge group of people there, so I was in the house with the boys helping them out, but I did take time to get myself a new bracelet as well, so that was fun. I got them fed and bathed and put in their jammies and everything, so they were all good to go. She should be good to go when she gets done with her party. So there we go. So I've got 2 panels here that I've got little shakers in. I'm just bringing in my bone folder, and I'm going to give this a good press. And I'm going to use these 2 together on a card. I've not done this before. It's just something that occurred to me this evening that I would do. And I'm going to kind of layer them up like that on an A2 size card. So I just went and got a panel that I thought would coordinate with the scraps that I die cut those frames out in. And I'm going to take and I'm going to emboss it. And I think that'll be nice. I think I embossed it. Anyway, so I'm going to create my card base, and I'm just going to score it 4 1/4. It's going to be a side folding. Just get it scored up. And then we'll get this laid down on our card panel. And this is where I think I bring in an embossing folder. I'm going to use the, I forget what this one's called. It's like Celebrations Sprinkles or something. I don't know. I'll try to remember to link it in the description box below. But it's a very fun pattern that could be definitely a birthday party or, you know, something like that, or a celebration of sorts. And then I'm going to take my first shaker panel and just get it laid down on there. And I'm trying to make a nice frame around the top and the side. And then I'm going to try to line this next one with a similar frame. And I need to pop up part of it because it's going to lay on top of the other one that's already got dimension on it. So I want it to lay even. And I've got to move that over. I didn't give myself enough room for tucking. And I'm going to need another strip. And we'll get the release papers pulled off of here. And we will get this laid down. So we've got our stenciled pattern in the background that we got in our Crafty Advent Calendar today. And we've got some of our 2 days worth of sprinkles on there. And then I'm going to bring in yesterday's stamp set because I just used the one, I think it was Have a Sweet Day. And then this has a birthday sentiment on it. And so I'm going to stamp it up, and we'll use the stamp set from yesterday on this. And I'm giving it a good press. And it says happy birthday. I think it says happy birthday, friend. And we're going to get this trimmed down. I thought about using a die on it, but I decided just to use my trimmer. And I'm just going to trim it a couple of times. And I'm just going to lay it across there. And I want to cut it to where it goes clear across the blue panel that's on there. And so I'm going to do something really awkward here. I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to bring my scissors in and give it a snip. And then I'm going to reach over and try and do it that way. Then I'll spin it and snip it. And then I'll bring it up and straighten it out. I guess this is the lazy way of doing it. I think it was a 3 3/4 by 5 inch panel. So I could have done that on my trimmer, but guess I was kind of being lazy there and just eyeballing it. And I need this foam because we're going to go across the shaker panel. And I'm just going to lay it down on there. I'm going to add some glue just for some extra stability. And I think it turned out fun. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.